we have a very important album dropping here tomorrow at midnight at this point, and that's Don Toliver's Octane. And on the contrarian side of things, it's like this is exactly what you should be doing in an album rollout. And we might have not have noticed or known that an album rollout was happening for both him and Travis Scott at this point, because Travis went and did that Rolling Stone article and then that YouTube video as well. It feels like we're very much in the midst of an album rollout for the Jack Boys Collective, where they put out Jack Boys 2. I liked it. I know like a lot of people might have not, it might not have been their favorite project. I liked it a lot for what it was. I thought it was good. But like you look at the little tidbits that Don Toliver has placed. He dropped "Lose My Mind" with Doja Cat for the F1 movie. Then he put out FWU. That song's a banger. Then he has some standout performances on Jack Boys 2, which we talked about when we reviewed that album, which I just thought were still underrated, still so good. I thought he showed up in some big spots and absolutely did his thing. He drops Tiramisu 4 months ago, which is it's a banger. It feels like that one's going to be like a radio type hit.
Yeah.
And all of that being said, I know that we're just like, I just said, like, he dropped FWU 7 months ago. He dropped Tiramisu 4 months ago. The difference with this is he's throwing out tidbits and pieces of music to continue to keep feeding the fans, but Octane was never announced. It's not like he was like Octane on the way, or anything like that. It was kept very much in house. Then 6 days ago, we finally get the concise, focused album rollout that is Octane, with a dope fucking trailer that went absolutely viral on social media, paired with the signed bundles, with the albums, the t-shirts, the CDs, the everything that we talk about that goes into it, which it seems like the Jack Boys, the Travis Scott collective of people have that very much down pat for their artists, like Travis and Don, where it's like, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to get done. But the vision was complete before it was announced. And that's the difference, where it was announced and everything was already curated. Everything was already done, complete, and ready to go. And then a day after the official trailer, Don Toliver releases ATM. We're getting snippets here and there out on social media. Everything sounds fucking insane. I'm super excited for this album. Don's one of my favorites. One, have you liked everything that you've heard so far from Don and the snippets and shit? And the next thing is, what have you thought thus far about the rollout for this Don Toliver album? It might not be long, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a long, and we said, are we too critical of this? Like, is there a sweet spot? Who knows? But Don Toliver, this feels right. And maybe it just goes off feeling, and he's crushing it, in my opinion. What do you think?
I have seen, I don't think I've heard everything quite yet, but as far as snippets go, but the stuff that I have heard, I have liked. And the trailer that he put out is awesome. Like, that's one thing that, like, another thing that that entire group does so well is like I don't know what the proper word is. Visuals, videography is so good with Travis Scott, and whenever he's on the process of putting out an album, that stuff is just so well done. And I have the Octane trailer playing right now, and it's just like, it's awesome. Like, it's the timeline is clear now that we have the date of this Friday, the 30th. It wasn't long. It doesn't need to be long. It needs to be concise. It needs to have there needs to be a goal. There needs to be a start, and there needs to be a stop. And with the Rocky thing, it kind of felt like it started and you had no clue when you were going to get the next piece. And then you thought it was going to stop. And then you think the album's coming out, and then you get another snippet, and then you have to wait a couple months, and then you eventually get the album, a few years later. The difference with like the Travis Scotts, the Don Tolivers, and those guys is the breadcrumbs along the way are so much better laid out for you as a fan that it's like, okay, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get this, and then we're gonna get the album. So like pretty much like once you know that the merch bundles are out, that's almost like the green flag of like, hey, we're about to get this project. And I know
Yeah.
that it wasn't announced yet, but based off of what we've seen, those types of bundles are the like final confirmation as fans that we get of this is when like we're getting the album soon, whether it's
Well,
a couple 2 weeks, a week here and there.
we say you say that, but
Maybe
Travis
as of
or not
recent,
Travis,
maybe as of
ASAP
recent.
Rocky, but no, not as recent. ASAP Rocky released bundles what 2 years ago when people started pre-ordering that album, and he had to refund people on
I'm only
ordering the
talking
album.
about I'm talking about how the Jack Boys Collective does it.
Yeah, they have it down to a
Yeah,
like they
that's
are
what I'm
not
saying. It's like
fumbling this. They wouldn't even put out the idea if it
correct.
wasn't ready.
Yeah,
That's the
that's what I'm saying.
difference.
That's what I'm saying is they do it the right way versus the way that Rocky's done it because of what you just said, right? It's he put some things out, the bundles, which with Travis and Don, when those bundles come out, that's the green flag of all right, hey, album's on the way, album's a week away, 2 weeks away. Rocky led everybody astray by doing that because then he pulled it back, and then a couple other songs came out. Some time goes by, and then the album finally gets here, which is the wrong way to do it versus the way that these guys do it and Don and Travis, where they put that bundle out and then it's go time.
It's go time, and
It's
I
go
think
time.
that we watched him flip into a mode, and they lean him and Travis do this where they lean into an aesthetic during a project or an era of who they are as an artist at this time. We watched it with Heartstone Psycho. We're going to watch it right now with Octane, which still seems to be leaned into a little bit of like that biker culture for Don. I think that might be an interest of his, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's fucking dope. I even saw somebody, well, one, I wanted to ask you because I saw a lot of people complaining about the cover for Octane. I thought it was sick. Am I like am
I
I
need to look
crazy?
I need to look at it again and like get a deeper, like a better look at the cover because I couldn't
So
quite tell what it was at first.
as of right now, we have 18 tracks on this project, and two confirmed songs on this project is Tiramisu and ATM confirmed.
Yep. Yep. All right, here. Let me look. So it looks like it's just him standing on top of like I don't think it's supposed to be like music like equipment. I think it's supposed to be more of like science type
Can I
equipment.
tell you what that reminds me of? It reminds me of have you ever seen like 3 Mile Island, like the old school, like
Nuclear. Yeah, yeah, that's
nuclear like
exactly. It
buttons.
reminds me of Nazi
That's
zombies.
it reminds me of like Homer Simpson sitting at the nuclear plant pressing the buttons, making sure that everything's okay throughout the day. That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Like maybe it's the whole high octane thing with like energy and whatnot. Because in that trailer, it does have him with that scientist, and there's like
Oh yeah, at the
nuclear logos floating around. So it seems like it started. I didn't know where it was going when I first watched the trailer. I wasn't expecting him to venture into like a nuclear power plant science lab situation. Um, so I don't know entirely. I don't think it's a bad cover. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Heartstone Psycho one was just so nasty. Like the biker cover was fire, and the
with the
merch with
flag.
like
Yeah, of
yeah, and then
course.
like it just like reminded me of like the Midwest. What is it? Orange County Choppers, like that kind of logo.
Yeah. I think it's dope. I like it a lot. I like that it's a different feeling, and I think what like a lot of people don't take the time, and I hope that they do. I really do, especially during times like this where it's like the album cover makes sense when you watch the Octane official trailer and you watch the ATM music video where it's like, oh, this is a matching style and aesthetic that they're trying to go for across the entire board. It's not like the cover is random to the trailer and the trailer is random to ATM.
Yeah.
Everything is a well thought out, cohesive vision. Even if songs are different on different tracks, it's still the same ultra focused,
Mhm.
which I get off on that a lot when we talk about these about music, where it's like a lot of the time it feels like artists aren't ultra focused on just like making a project for whatever reason that may be. um Not the Travis Scott camp collective and all of that. We've talked about that at nauseum, but maybe they're the only ones that can pull it off. Maybe they're the only ones that care. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
Don and Trav seem to be moving way different than everybody else.
I mean, we have covered this a bunch where it's like every time an album from somebody in the Travis Scott camp comes out, it feels more of like a full-fledged experience than just here's a an album of 12 to 15 songs, whatever, because of how they do the rollouts, the merch bundles that they put together. Um, it seems like there's always a trailer for whatever album is coming out. Um, and we don't see that with other musicians, other artists.
90% of music, 90% of other musicians and artists.
Yeah. And I don't know if, like you said, I don't know if they just don't care or they don't want to do that and they're more focused on like putting out music, but even then, like I don't think that that's an excuse because it's not like Travis and Don and these guys are putting out bad music. Like it's if anything like the um everything around the album makes it a more enjoyable listening experience because you were along for the ride.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit last week where you are selling me at the end of the day when an album's coming out, you are getting sold on something to listen to it. 90% of the time it isn't just going to be like, oh, like let me just listen to this because whatever.
Yeah.
But if somebody is taking the time and showing people why they should be listening to this album and putting in the work to back up what that feeling as well with like the little bit of like snippets and tidbits, trailers, whatever it might be, that get released throughout the course of the time, you're going to sit there like you said, it makes it a more enjoyable listening experience. It makes it more immersive. It makes you we might be sitting here listening to the album over the next few days and the we'll hear the instrumental that was used on the official Octane trailer. You'd be like, oh, that shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
that shifts
Yeah.
from the trailer. Like, it's just all of that little stuff to try to, and it might not reach everybody, but if it could reach your core fans or even more than that, like that's what's important is trying to figure out how to engage all of your fans from it might not be a very long runway, but from a week ago to right now. And I feel like just based off social media, based off of what I have seen, it seems like everybody's very excited about this Don Toliver album project.
I think that it does reach more people when you do it this way because I'm looking at now I have legit no clue how valid this website is because it's called kwarb.net. So I'm probably getting a virus after I leave this
It's
website.
the
But
is that the streams website?
yeah, and I'm looking up like
It
how
is
many
legit.
streams each of these albums have gotten, and Heaven or Hell is at the top. It's been out the longest. That one came out in 2020, but every album since Heaven or Hell, like in chronological order, has jumped up in streams. Heaven or Hell is
Yeah.
the best, is the leader, but like um Love Sick is at um, just under 2 billion. Hearthstone Psycho is a little over 2 billion. Um, Life of a Dawn, I should have said that one first, is at 1.1, and then Lovesick, and then Hearthstone, and then Heaven or Hell. So like as he's grown and as he's put out more projects, they're all doing more and more numbers. And I think that the way that Travis and him do their rollout is part of that, because I think it's a more enjoyable experience. It gets more people excited. It gets more people talking. It generates more buzz around an album when it's coming out, rather than kind of stop and start that we've seen with Rocky. And Drake's a different example because that's just going to be numbers no matter what.
We'll
But
see.
the
Hey,
process is
we
still
will.
not.
We will see.
The process is still not great.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch what happens with the Drake album. Another one is like Bully, we can say with Kanye, where
Yeah,
Kanye is
that
always
one's
like,
not
I'm
great
releasing
either.
Bully. I'm going to
Yeah,
release Bully.
He's
I'm
actually the
doing this.
worst at that. He's
Yeah, he
actually
is.
the absolute worst.
He always does that. And we've watched his music take a downward spiral
Yeah.
in that regard, like over a little bit. One last thing, and I think that we could probably wrap up unless you have anything else. I think Don is officially approaching a territory right now with this Octane album, which there's really no reason to think that this album won't be great. Where he might have a little bit of a flawless catalog on his hands, honestly, like very underratedly a flawless catalog.
I would have to go back and like thoroughly listen to everything else before I can say that. Um, but there is probably, you would know better than I. But if I feel like if you're getting a billion streams on your albums, that like you're probably in a pretty good spot. Like if every
Yeah,
one of your albums, the last four albums that he's put out all have a billion streams, I think that you're trending in the right direction.
and I say underratedly because he does not get that same superstar respect as like a lot of people do. And I think that he's bubbling right at the surface here, where if a few songs on this project could really pop, which if you just look at all of his projects, there has been songs that have like gone super, like that have popped superly. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think that I think that he could be in another situation where he could have more just hits, classic hits that will just continue to make him more identifiable.
Yeah, I'm looking at this playlist on Spotify right now called the Billions Club, and I think it's all songs that have over a billion streams. But I don't think he has one song with a billion streams quite yet.
No poll.
Um, I don't know. I'm looking through it right now. If you want to look at that playlist and see, I would assume that that's how it's laid out, is all the songs that have a
He
billion
does
streams.
not. No poll has 750 million, which
He'll get there
I
eventually.
thought it'll get there eventually. I thought that one was a lock though. That song is a banger. That's a classic song.
But the list of people on this, I mean, there's a multiple hundreds of songs on this playlist, but there's so much music that's come out, and to be able to say that you have a billion streams is ridiculous. So
Yeah.
he'll get there eventually, I'm sure. But obviously, everybody on this list is. Oh, he actually has one. What about No Idea? It's on this.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah,
So,
here I'll check. I'll check real quick. But go ahead.
but what I was just going to say is everybody on this list is some of the most popular musicians and artists throughout history.
One
So
1.3 billion streams for No Idea. I mean, his music. He has firmly inserted himself into like my top. You know what I mean? Like if I were to like give like a list of like guys, you know what I mean, like music that I love, it's just like it's
yeah,
like Travis, Don Toliver, Future, like those guys, like you can never go wrong with those guys, in my opinion. Like
Not at all.
it's a safe listen to. You know that they make good music and it's just fire. So yeah, absolutely. He's just like I said, he's floating on another level for me right now, and I'm excited to hear this project.
I bet if you asked 80% of people that listen to rap music, they would if you asked them, does Don Toliver have a song with a billion streams? I guarantee you 80 to 90% of those people would say no.
Yeah, probably. He's underrated still, bro. I'm excited for this.
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize he had one with a billion. So
Yeah.
I pay attention to him.
Yeah. He might be next up. My
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man, and take vision.